Brazil's answer to Di Maria, or destined to fall short like Douglas Costa? Just how good is Rafael Diaz Beloli, aka Raphinha?
Port arriving, Raphinha's coming in very late. This is Click to Raphinha.
Raphinha is a multifaceted goal threat, a precise finisher inside the box and capable of striking from range and from set pieces. Now if we look at this clip here, a wonderful example of how Raphinha keeps his composure. Despite running the length of the box, he's playing here for Brazil. Big game, bottom corner, wonderful finish. Here he opens his body up. Now can you imagine Rashford sort of placing the finish like this? Here again, weaker foot early on in his career, and here again smashes it into the back of net with his weaker foot. Now statistically, he's a much better finisher than a Di Maria, but he's not quite someone I'd associate with being a top elite wing forward like a Mo Salah.
Raphinha.
In terms of long passing, there's no denying it. Raphinha's numbers are really poor. Bielsa is a big fan of verticality, and Raphinha is encouraged to keep making game-breaking passes even when the odds are not favourable. Now, in truth, if he goes to a bigger side, this sort of stuff needs to be cut out. He needs to stop making impossible passes and make a calculation as to whether the player in question has the pace to get onto it or the ability to make it stick. At the moment, the decision making isn't quite there. Statistically, Raphinha is a player who runs at players a lot, but his success rate is quite poor, and only Rashford has a worse dribble success rate. Now, they're both quite similar in terms of they've got so much talent in their locker in terms of skill set. I mean, look at this, inside and outside of players, meg players. Look at this one, cuts in like a Robin. He's going to cut in, weave in and out of players. I think the only issue is probably he's trying too much and not playing it safe enough. One of my favourite attributes of Raphinha is his creativity. He reminds me of Di Maria, is constantly using his passing to progress the game, hence why I describe him as a playmaking winger. Here, that pass he hits is just astonishing. Beautiful pass. Not many wingers could spot that type of pass. Here, probably tries too much here. Sees a pass, but it's closed off. He should have noticed that and hold on to the ball. Here, uses his dribbling to delay the play, suck defenders in and then find a man in the inside. Very, very intelligent player. Again here, sort of dribbling, sucking defenders in, spotting the pass and waiting for the right moment to release it. So he's someone whose creative passing is killer passing, very, very important component of his game. In terms of the direction of crosses, a lot of Raphinha's crosses seem to go towards the far post, which can be quite predictable. Now, in terms of technique, he has a lovely whipped technique, puts a lot of pace and bend on the ball. Okay, that one's a bit under hit, but even on his weaker foot, seems to be able to get the delivery into the right areas, into the corridor of uncertainty. But the problem is for the opponents, but for his teammates himself, they just don't seem to be able to get on the end of him. Even on the opposite flank here, again, he puts a lovely delivery in. So it's a real shock to see his statistics, where he's got the worst crossing statistics out of most major wingers. In terms of heading, Raphinha is better than your average winger. He's someone who a goalkeeper can target with a long pass and expect him to compete. So he's a good out ball under pressure. I mean, here he doesn't win the ball, but generally he's always looking to compete. What's strange is that it was difficult finding this type of footage where he's competing in the air, but he seems to have a good leap. Seems to be someone who isn't fearful in the air. Clearly he's not maximizing that ability at the moment. In terms of general possession play, link-up play, Raphinha's got really poor ball retention stats compared to a Di Maria. He hasn't quite got that balance right between risk, progressing the game in possession, and just keeping the ball for keeping the ball's sake. So the balance in his game isn't quite there, and if he wants to move to a bigger team and play for a manager who prioritizes possession, that's something in his game which needs to improve. Whilst Raphinha is a goal threat, he's more of a wide man, and this is exemplified by his choice of movement. Here, instead of making that inside run that a Mo Salah would make, he prefers to drop off, get the ball to feet, and do more of his winger-like duties. He feels more comfortable on the touchline. Here, he's able to check his run, and then intelligently support his man again. And here, this is one of his best type of runs where he runs on the move and just starts running at players, receiving the ball on the run. Another standout attribute for Raphinha is his defensive work. He's one of the hardest working wingers in world football, as you'd expect from someone who works under Bielsa. In this scenario here, he occupies the right back position on the far post, puts in a sliding tackle here, and then has the composure to play it out. Shows intelligence here against Tierney, pushes him on to his right foot, knowing that it's not really going to be a goal threat. Here, fakes right and then he goes left, shows him down the line. Follows Rudiger here, so he's got the discipline and the work rate. Tactically, Raphinha is an inverted winger rather than a wide forward. As discussed before, he favours cutting in and putting in a ball to the far post, but he's also accomplished going down the line, a bit like a Riyad Mahrez, and he can put the ball in with his right foot or find enough time to set himself to pick up a pass with the left. This passage of play just captures the essence of Raphinha, using his passing to progress the game and then his dribbling and shooting where the situation demands it. This is a very multi-dimensional attacking player. In conclusion, Raphinha is a player who seems destined for the Champions League. His work rate alone will impress many a top manager and make him a valuable squad member at the very least. The question is whether the increased discipline that he needs to show in order to fit into a big side will neuter him as a player. A bit like Riyad Mahrez, who's just not the same exciting player that we saw at Leicester City. He's a lot more inhibited now. Furthermore, does Raphinha have the ability to be the star of a big club, the face of the club, or is he merely just a top support act in the making? Personally, I can't see him becoming a star who is the face of the team, but I can see him being a functional component of a successful team, someone who can chip in with the odd match-winning goal or the key assist, but is there predominantly to provide tactical balance like a Willian or a Di Maria. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, share and subscribe, and see you guys again next time. Bye.